My name's Jack Death. I'm a Trancer hunter from the 21st century. It's been 7 years since I went down the line to old California. Life's been good. I thought I'd singe my last Trancer.
God damn it, McNulty. The next time someone hands you an exploding ham, I'm gonna pass the mustard.
Welcome to The Good, the Bad, and the Sequel. This is the movie podcast where we're talking sequels, and we do it in two parts. The first, an interview with an actor or someone involved that made the film worth watching. And the second, a discussion of the sequel, what they got right, what they got wrong, and how it could have been better. Really hope you enjoyed last week's interview with stuntman, sometimes actor, and stunt coordinator, Chuck Borden. We talked about his journey from the Bronx to LA to racing go-karts, and then ended up on the working on Fast Times at Ridgemont High, the football scene, holding bags. And then from then on, he said, man, this is something I want to do. Worked on Michael Jackson music videos. He doubled Val Kilmer. He worked on a ton of Star Trek and a lot of the stuntmen from my hometown that we're going to be having some interviews out in the next few months with Mark Riccardi. So, man, Chuck was awesome. If you haven't heard that, be sure to check it out after this week's review of a movie that there's a listener of ours, our buddy from outside Buffalo, Matt Quinn. He has been telling me about these movies for so long, and I've kept putting them off because I think when I searched for it, there was a different movie poster that was showing up, and it made it look very sci-fi. And I was like, I don't know. But then when we saw it for Chuck, when it was one of the sequels, we were like, man, we got to do it. Trancers II. The Return of Jack Death. The name alone is amazing. But before I talk about stuffed hams or McNulty, the girl crushing it, I got to introduce you to my partner in this time traveling journey, Jamie Riccardi. Jamie, how are you?
I'm okay, Doug. I felt like I was in a trance watching this movie.
Oh no!
And yes, I thought this was something else. And after when I started watching the movie, I'm thinking, you know what? I'm thinking the movie Scanners, not Trancers. So I don't think I've heard of this movie. Scanners I've heard of, and I think that's a bigger.
Well, we did a Scanners. Yeah, we did Scanners 3.
Right. And
one of those, yeah.
I would watch Scanners 8 over this movie if there was a Scanners 8. I thought this movie was a tough watch. It was so cheeseball. First of all, why is it rated R?
Loved it.
Why is it rated R?
Oh, was it?
Yes, it's rated R. I watched it on Tubi, and it kept telling me in the corner it's rated R. There's nothing. The only thing that's rated R that should have been rated R is the fact that this guy kisses. How often in this movie? It's so gross. He's got to be like 50 years old kissing 20-year-olds.
Well, remember, this is the 80s, 90s. He's probably 40 or 35.
Okay. Even if he is 40, she's definitely 20. He's definitely double her age. I mean, he looks like, first of all, everybody in this movie looks like they would be like a like a face double, like a double for another celebrity.
Oh,
like he looks like the guy from
sorry.
Quantum Leap. He looks like the guy from Quantum Leap a little bit.
Scott Bakula. Yeah, I can see that.
There's a guy in here that looks like, first of all, one of the main women, the bad guys, she looks like Tim Curry from Rocky Horror.
She does.
She does. And then you have another one. The orderly looks like Jack Nicholson when he's constantly smiling like him, and it's like one of the girls, Smith or whatever her name is, looks like Phoebe Cates.
Megan Ward. Is she?
Yes.
If you look at her IMDb, she's in a lot of stuff that we watched around that 90s time. I forgot one of them I looked up and I'm like, oh my God, I've seen that so many times. But yeah,
she's adorable. But she kisses this guy multiple times. It's so gross. He looks so old next to her. This felt like it was a Saturday Night Live skit. Like this, the acting, the action. I don't know. I honestly, it took me a while to watch this movie. I had to break it up a few times.
Wow. Okay. So I understand where you're coming from, but to me, this is one of the best movies because because it's a great movie that everyone is giving it their like 110% and everyone's overacting. But I agree that the SNL sketch, it is very hammy because there's every stuffed hammy, stuffed hammy. There is a lot of one-liners in this movie that I will think about for the rest of my life.
And yes, they could be giving all they have. Okay, there's a scene where the one guy's acting drunk. It is the worst drunk acting. Like, he's so over the top walking around the baseball game.
Wait, do you mean when he's wearing his full California Angels outfit with cleats on to the liquor store in a stolen car?
And play and looking to play baseball with a bunch of homeless people under the bridge.
Oh, dude.
Like, I mean,
that was amazing.
But the way he's walking and talking, it's so bad. Like, it's like if you had like a middle school play and they had to play a drunk person in a scene, that's what it looked like. And, you know, like, obviously they're not going to play it well. It just, the acting, even if they gave it their all, they need to give more, or they need to go to acting school, because it really was not good. Even McNulty, I mean, it was so over the top. It was just, okay, we'll get there.
That girl, you gotta say, we only see Art LaFleur, who's a legendary character actor, I think, who just passed away a year ago. Around this time, you gotta think, he works so much, but he plays Babe Ruth in The Sandlot the next year or 2 years after this. You know, Heroes Are Remembered, Legends Never Die.
He's in a movie for a short period.
That's what I mean. But I'm saying, we see him for 5-10 minutes when he's talking to the aunt from Family Matters.
Okay, there's a part in the beginning where he's talking to her and he adjusts his junk, like, openly. Did you like notice that?
Yes.
Like, and I didn't know if that was supposed to be part of the movie, but like, it wasn't like even mentioned or addressed. And I think he was literally just adjusting his junk. Maybe like not realizing they're using this scene to do it. It was so obvious, and it was just so weird. It was just, there's a scene later on when the main guy, he's got his hair slicked back when he's by the barn, but then he's running, he's got the poof, no slick hair, and like, and then the next scene after that is slick hair again. Like, that's this like whole movie is just such a sloppy, skit after skit. Like, even just like. I mean, this movie was made it in 90, 91, 92?
91
like,
it came out.
Okay. I mean, the set pieces were like silly. Like, again, Saturday Night Live probably could have the same exact set for next Saturday if they were doing a sci-fi sketch.
The traveling stuff and the computers in the futuristic room are so bad.
Oh, the first scene alone, like, as soon as I saw the scene, I'm like, what am I watching? Like, this really looks so. Like, what, do you know the budget for this movie or no?
Oh, I don't know. I can look it up real quick. I'm sure it's not too much, but the one thing I have to say, and this is like not knocking people that like post like 95, 2000 full moon movies, but this is when they still actually, like, it looks like a movie in a way. Like, after that 95, 90, the 2000. Then it was like the Evil Bong movie, which the orderly guy you mentioned, I think his name's Sonny Carl Davis. We actually almost interviewed him when we first started this podcast, and we just couldn't connect. And then like COVID hit, I should have reached back out to him. Yeah, he's in all those Evil Bong. But just the look of these movies, it kind of reminded me of Sam's Oblivion 2. Like, it looks like, okay, this is a movie. This is an 80s, 90s TV movie, or like straight to VHS movie.
I was thinking Sci-Fi. Like, it looked like the Sci-Fi Channel kind of movie, right?
Yeah,
it just looked like it. But okay, so let me ask you, like, do you think, like, did Scanners come out first? Because, like, I feel like they're like, this is like one of those where, like, they, you know, the more known movies out there.
No,
so they do a knockoff.
Scanners is like telepathy. These guys just somehow go from normal to zombie and like, there's no indication. So how do they turn? Is somebody snap a button, or do they inject them and then it's like a time limit? Because it always works out at the perfect time. That the guy's like there, he's able to drive there, get a shovel out, start digging into the ground, and then he starts trancing.
Okay, I don't even know what the plot of this movie is. Like, outside of like is it the drug that we? If the plot of the movie is the drugs that I thought he was like,
what do you mean, future crack? Future crack.
But you don't find that out until 20 minutes left in the movie. So, like, if that's the plot of the movie, so the plot of the movie is not found out until the movie's almost over. Then you find out, here's the movie's about.
I think it's more of like what they do with their full moon movies. Like, it's such a bad thing to do, but like Oblivion 1 and Oblivion 2, I don't know if this one was filmed that close behind. I don't know when the first Trancers came out, but yeah, it just seems like this is a continuation of a story that everyone should know. And there's no plot. It's like
every character, when they had like a conversation with someone, it was always the camera point of view of them talking directly to the camera as if they're talking to the person. So you see that point of view. It happened multiple times in the movie, which made it even cheesier. It was like, because I mean, because it looked like they might not have even been filming the same day. So they were talking to the camera in case that person wasn't there or whatever. Like it was a lot of that. So.
Yeah, I agree. Super hammy, but I
know
love
you
that
like that.
in these movies. And when I was looking at the 84 cast, it's everyone. So all these people came back. Even the aunt from Family Matters, who plays like the commander, she was in the original in 84. So that's pretty cool. You had all these people come back. And the fact that it's
no
the
one
same
was probably
actress.
hiring them after they worked on this job. So they're probably like waiting by the phone, hoping Trancers 2 would come out sooner than 10 years. That's what they were hoping for. So.
So then Art LaFleur, who plays McNulty, McNulty is talking with the commander, the aunt from Family Matters, and she's explaining, hey, you have to go back in order to Jack has to get back here. You have 48 hours and you have to, and I didn't see the first one, so I didn't understand that was a real thing and not just a joke. When he was like, no, I didn't want to be sent back again. Last time he sent me back, I was 9 years old. And they're like, I know, but now it's 6 years into the future. So I'll be 15. And he's like, what? So guys can chase me around and have sex?
Wait. So McNulty's supposed to be 15 in this movie?
No, when he goes back in time, like when you go back in time, for some reason, Jack Death can go to anyone. But for some reason, his rules are he has to go back into an ancestor.
No. Right. So if he went to her at 9, 6 years later, if this is taking place 6 years later, she's supposed to be 15.
That's what it is. Yeah.
So
she's supposed to be 15. So, she's definitely not 15, the actress. But yeah.
No, she's not 15. She's like 25. I mean, it's like, why couldn't they say 10 years later to make it like 15? Oh my gosh. She's smoking a cigar in half the movie.
She's the best. She really kills. Honestly, come on. You can say what you want about the movie, but to be an actress, I don't know what she was in other stuff. I looked at her IMDb just before we started, and she was in like a bunch of 90s shows.
No, I looked her up. I was hoping she was in a sequel, so I can try to get her, but she wasn't in any sequels. Yeah, I know. So, but no,
Megan Ward is in the sequel. So if you can get her, Alice,
I think
you can get Alice Stillwell.
I think I tried, or either I'm sure I tried. So. Trust me, when I reached out for this movie, I think I reached out for this movie. I think I probably went through the whole cast. So, yeah.
So now he has 48 hours to find Jack, and then that's when we see Jack and I mentioned the whole story.
So what happens in 48 hours if he doesn't find them?
That's a great question. We didn't know what the end was, but we did almost get to the end.
Okay.
And there was a lot of confusion with a lot of the parts. Even like, it feels like even the characters were confused. And it was like, this is a serious thing, like time travel and the fact that like the first time that McNulty like talks about this device, he drops it on the ground. Well, she drops it on the ground. And it's like, oh, sorry, Jack. I guess we're going to have to set up so the time travel device is going to land in the yard.
Okay. So let's backtrack a little bit with McNulty. So McNulty has to go to an ancestor. Now, what are the odds that the ancestor lives near wherever Jack is?
Like, what do you mean, in old California?
Okay.
I love when Richard Lynch, as the bad guy, says, I love it here in old California.
I mean, okay. I mean, it's so stupid. So, okay. So,
is there a new California that they didn't mention to us?
In the first movie.
I hope
they talk about it in the first movie. So.
Oh, they did.
So, okay. So, when he goes into his, I guess, niece, his 15-year-old niece, where's the 15-year-old niece? Like, is she is she in there
Oh,
also?
where does their family think she is? No, he's probably in her body.
Yeah, no, I
So
know.
is she pretending to? So they should have added that to the movie. Mom, I have to go to school, and with the cigar in the mouth, and then like sneaks out.
Well, then that's a different movie. Now it's like father like son kind of thing. So they should add it where she switches bodies. So the 15-year-old is in space within his body.
That'd be funny.
Because otherwise, like, so he's in. So it's not like she's dead. As far as we know. So he's in his 15-year-old niece. So where's the 15-year-old niece at this point? Just like sleeping, like in like not like. Where does she think like? So I mean, this is 48 hours. So where does she think those 48 hours went? The minute
That's a
McNulty
great
leaves.
question. I like your idea. The switching body thing is great. I would love. Arla Fleur would have crushed it and acted like a teenage girl.
So that would have been funny. So, but yeah. So I just had a question. That was one of my main questions. Like, why was the niece so local to exactly where he was? And but okay. So his job is to bring back Jack. Yeah. Why doesn't you like? But what was he going to do to bring back Jack? Because it looked like Jack wasn't leaving anyway. So he failed his mission.
You know what? That's a huge plot hole because Jack's whole job was to protect Happ Ashby. Because Happ Ashby, God, I love that. I wonder if the person that wrote this movie was a fan of like Andy Ashby and Alan Ashby, the brothers that pitched in the 80s and 90s.
Had to be. Because
it's amazing that they used that name. But so I mentioned this before, and then I got off track. So this movie is kind of combined with Terminator 2 in the sense of Happ Ashby's ancestors are somebody that's like big in the future. So that's why they're trying to kill him. So that's the whole point of this movie. Like the green world, their goal is to kill Happ Ashby. So then the future ancestors don't start like the army like John Connor.
Wait a second. You got all that from this movie?
Yeah.
Why did they discuss that? I didn't get any.
He says it in one line. It's bad exposition around this part. I think he's explaining it to Helen Hunt. And yeah, it's that quick. It's like
maybe I watched the wrong movie. Maybe I watched the wrong movie. I didn't get any of that.
Maybe. But so remember when they're like hooking up him and Helen Hunt, which is like wow,
multiple times.
Probably,
he looks like
what's crazy is like in '84 she was probably really young, and it's crazy that 7 years later she wasn't big yet.
So,
but that's true. She wasn't.
Okay,
she didn't hit yet.
So the other girl was 22. I looked her up. So the Jack was only 45. Okay.
Oh, okay.
She was 22. Helen Hunt was about 6 years older. So Helen Hunt was about 28 at this time. It still looked creepy. Like he still looks like her dad. Like, I mean, even when he's making out with Helen Hunt, like he literally, like some of the makeout scenes are like really not necessary.
Gross.
And he just goes right in. Like, it's like he has to do like play the hero part for the makeout session multiple times. Like they're really not necessary. Maybe one of them.
Okay, everybody, action! Oh, okay, Tim, this is a makeout scene,
and I mean, he's making out. I mean, it's not like a peck on a cheek or a kissing. Like he's like sticking his tongue down their throat every single time. Like it's so gross. It's just so weird.
Take 47.
She had to be grossed out because she's
and it was gross. The lines, the dialogue, like when we're taking out Trancers like we used to. You know what I want to do right now? It's like, what?
And she was all over him. Like she was all.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so let's go back. So Art is there to bring Jack back, but Jack has already created a new life and was not planning on leaving.
He was even going to look for houses, and she wanted to have kids, and he said, "Nope, I don't want to sit with a real estate agent."
So whose body is Jack in?
I guess maybe his relative looks like a spitting image of him.
Okay.
Yeah, I know, that doesn't make any sense.
Okay. All right.
Unreal. So the landscaper shows up, Happ Ashby, with the California Angel House, give a little wave, and then he's looking out, and the guy is like, then. It's like he's broken. He ran out of batteries. Dun. Hey, do you need any help? Helpers? I don't need no stinking helpers. and he swings at it. And this is at the same time with that sound, Jack and Helen Hunt, Alina were going at it. And he was like, what's that sound? Oh, I think the landscapers are here. And he thinks to get into a golf cart.
Okay.
Pull his gun out.
How fast do golf carts go? Like, he probably could have ran there
Slow.
slow. But, okay. First of all, every chase in this movie, every action is in slow motion. Like, they're really...
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like, there's no moving fast at all. But when I saw him on a golf cart, I'm like, how far away was he that he couldn't just run there? Like, because you got to assume that, the golf cart's not sitting right there. So he had to go to wherever the garage where the golf cart is or whatever. Then, he's got to start
Grab
it.
the key.
Get the key. Like, there's a lot going on to get the golf cart going. And then again, how fast does it really go? When he could have just ran there. He wasn't that far away. And the house was big. It wasn't that big, right? I mean, so, like, it's so ridiculous that he took the golf cart there. And when he was...
the idea of a Trancer...
The what?
The zombie thing, just the one big question I have, and maybe it's explained the first one, like how they turn. Is it like they can make themselves turn? Is it a shot? Because later in the movie, when like Richard Lynch is saying, oh, we're going to give them an exam, it's really like a pill that they're giving these people over and over again to change. So it's like, do they know that this guy's going to turn while doing landscaping? Like, why couldn't it happen while he started driving? But then we do learn not too far after this, you can't operate heavy machinery as a Trancer, as we see.
But what is a Trancer? Like, what is a Trancer? Like, what can they do?
It's like a zombie. It's not a zombie, but it's almost like a zombie. It looks like a zombie-like creature. The veins are popping out. They're like turning green or purple.
But what can they do? What's the purpose of a Trancer?
They get you guns.
No.
They get you guns.
Not well. I mean, so like,
well, nobody gets you well. Megan Ward, when Alice is shooting a gun at the end.
Okay.
That might be the worst shooting in movie history.
Awful.
Eyes closed. The one time she was like this,
but the way she's holding it, like But so, like, I was thinking about this. What is a Trancer? What can they do? And why are they Trancers? Because, first of all, the one line he says was, after he kills them, don't worry, they're biodegradable.
To the old women.
That's right.
And they disappear right away. So it's not even like they're biodegradable. They disappear.
Are they humans that become Trancers? And if that's the case, why? Okay, so why do they disappear then when they're shot?
This might be a weird, because the company's Green World. So are they making them turn into vegetable creatures? Is this like a troll too?
Vegetables don't disappear. I mean, like, you know what? I'm sure Egan's gonna write in and tell us what's going on with Trancers. I
don't know. Do you think Egan is a Trancer fan?
He's seen this. He's got
maybe Matt Quinn. Come on, @equals only on
Twitter.
Well,
I'm ready to block Matt Quinn for requesting this movie. So it's
no.
But really, because like it didn't seem like Trancers have special powers at all. They didn't seem like they do anything special at all. So like I know what's the purpose of a Trancer, and that's like one of the questions I had the whole movie.
Yeah, wouldn't Richard Lynch have a better shot? He had a good shot at the end of the movie. Why wouldn't he have just snuck into Happ Ashby's yard and shoot him in the head?
Wait a second. They were surrounded by about 50 Trancers at the end of the movie. They easily could have and he was just Jack. No one tried to sneak around. They were all standing around there.
And they were in front of him. Yeah. Jack could have just rode through the back, broke the back wall, and walked away.
No, he decided to go through a tunnel. Oh, well, we're not even there. But I mean, that whole scene was so
we're not there yet,
ridiculous.
but we'll get to it.
I hope we're there soon because it's the end of the movie.
But so no. So how about the watch? So Art LaFleur, McNulty has a watch that you can press a button that freezes time for 10 seconds. And somebody uses it great, and somebody uses it, and I can't believe it made it in the movie when Alice gets to it. We'll get to that later when she uses her power. But
But the problem is, it also freezes you. Because when Jack was moving in slow motion when it happened.
Well, no, I think he was just moving in slow motion. Just like Alice, she was moving in slow motion.
So Jack was moving in slow motion because everything else was?
It was almost like he was tiptoeing not to wake them up because she did that same thing. She walked out of the barn.
Yes.
And why wouldn't you hit the button like when you're close to them? Freeze them, get the real 10-second head start.
Yeah, but it's not. It wasn't officially free. It was slow motion, right? It wasn't. Were they frozen or they?
No, they were frozen.
So
they were fully frozen. You can see the actors move a little.
So they
bit,
went from frozen to slow because even when they started moving, it was like slow motion moving.
Yeah.
So you're saying
they were
Jack
groggy.
moved slow on purpose when they were frozen?
Yeah, I don't think he was because it wouldn't like the. I don't think there would be. It could tell like, all right, freeze everybody else and make me go a little slow.
A little slow. He was when he was trying to get them to follow him. He literally was moving so slow.
How about when he's broke the?
Oh my god!
He broke the pallet.
Okay.
So McNulty, we talked about that. Like, had to watch 10 seconds. Drop the transmitter in the middle of the yard. So then Happ Ashby's like, hey, how about a catering tent? So they set that up to wait for the TLS chamber, whatever it was. Then we got to the mental hospital.
Okay.
And we get what I thought at this point, I thought she was evil because we don't know the name. And I don't know if they even mentioned Alice at this point yet. Like who it is, but now like we saw the first one, so we wouldn't have known. I thought she was going to be bad because she was trying to sneak out. She didn't want to do the drugs. So I thought that was like at first a legit mental hospital. And I thought she was crazy.
Wait,
like all my notes
it's
say
not a
evil
legit
chick.
mental hospital?
It's Green World. No, it's not.
Oh my god. I think I watched the wrong movie. Did they explain why she was there?
Because what's his name is taking like homeless people and people
I know
from
that.
mental
So how did
hospitals
she end up there?
to change them into Trancers. Oh, well, she was sent there by, remember the whole story? So she died, but then somebody got sent back 48 hours before that on their assignment, and somehow she survived.
No, she didn't die.
So that person altered time.
I thought she didn't die. I thought they brought her back right before she was going to die. Right? Or
No,
she did.
She did
Okay.
die.
Okay.
Like Jack thought she was dead, but then somebody on assignment went back like 48 hours before, and then was able, by mistake, brought her back. So that's how she ended up in the timeline. Her goal, I think, it wasn't to help Happ Ashby.
No.
It was kind of, that
It was a
makes no
separate
sense. So
assignment
went
that she
back there,
had, but
but we never knew what her assignment was. To infiltrate maybe the mental hospital.
they again, I mean, you definitely got way more detail in this movie than I did because I
watched it twice.
Okay, well, that might have helped. See, I would never be able to watch it twice. I barely were able to watch it once. So, but yeah, I mean, I didn't understand why she was there. I thought it was a real hospital because like the orderly, first of all, looked like he reminded me of almost like what's his name? Christopher Lloyd in the Dream Team, thinking he's a doctor, and like I thought he was a patient.
Oh yeah.
Thinking he was an orderly, but he was really a patient. Because I mean, like the creepy smile the whole time, and like he was literally like smiling and like a psychopath the whole time. Like, yeah,
Do you remember his name?
I don't.
His name is Rabbit.
Oh yes,
And
Rabbit.
do you remember how he got the name?
She did ask him, and but it didn't make sense, right? Like when he told the story.
No, he just said because I used to jump in front of cars' headlights when I was a kid.
So when he said that, I'm like, what does that have to do with Rabbit? Is that something rabbits do?
I don't know. It's not like rabbits are jumping across the road.
No,
where we
I
live,
mean,
but
he could have
maybe
said like,
somewhere
I
in
ate a lot of carrots when I was younger. All right, fine, I believe that. But jumping in front of the cars, I don't think there's ever been a rabbit that's jumped in front of a car. I mean, if you said a deer, fine. I don't think I've ever seen a dead rabbit on the side of the road. Have you? From jumping in the car? No way.
No, I don't know. I didn't ask the officer the cause of death.
Okay. Even if
Excuse me, are you the number one detective in the scene? What was the cause of death? Jump in front of the car?
yes, if a rabbit jumped in front of your car, it would probably barely dent it. I don't think a rabbit's gonna. It would probably get stuck in the grate.
Why did the one rabbit rob the other rabbit?
Why?
24 carats.
Did you just make that up? Is that a joke? Is it? Did you have a rabbit joke tucked away, or you just made it up?
No, I just made it up. I was.
Did you really?
I taught Emma. I taught my daughter how to make jokes for animals, and you just got to think of one thing that they do that's unique, and then you add that to the punchline.
Do you have a joke for a giraffe?
A giraffe? What would be a giraffe joke? So they have a long neck.
Okay.
So what would be?
Okay.
I don't know.
All right, so that's something you got to work on.
I was one for two. I gotta up my giraffe jokes.
I just want to see how good you were.
So no joke. If I could share my notes, I wrote evil brown hair, fakes eating her meds. ... Maybe she isn't bad after all. Because most of the time, people that don't have their meds, they're good. They're good people. Maybe the evil people are. But you know what's funny? You mentioned Scanners II. Wasn't that one of the character traits of one of the bad guys? He wouldn't eat his meds. There was something weird about one of those bad guys.
Well, you see that all the time, and I think any movie that has like a psychiatric center or whatever, you always see one patient who's outsmarting everybody else and tucking the pills into the mattress, or like hiding it under the pillow. So so what does the pill do? Is it what made him like zombie like?
It slowly turns you into a trancer. Like, I guess after so long. So she wasn't taking it. I don't think she really knew.
Right.
But then she got the creepy guy, the orderly, to go get her watch, because that was the thing. And so the creepy guy has a date with a woman that is like way out of his league. And she looks so familiar. I feel like she was probably in like every 80s sitcom or 90s sitcom. But he pours 2 glasses and vodka. And how about his wall? Did you notice what was on his wall? He had naked women all over his wall. His office wall. So you're telling me like Jeffrey Combs, who's in this movie from Reanimator, Beyond Bride of Reanimator.
Yep.
He walks in there to talk to him and isn't like, hey man, you have to go talk to HR. You have naked women all over your wall. And he brings his date in who's working. And they're drinking in their office.
And she was like all over him. Like she would like, so like she loved, So but so let me ask you, these Trancer videos, or the main guy when he has these videos,
Richard Lynch talking to them.
So is he hypnotizing them? Like,
I think a little bit, but I don't know if it's something that he has the power to really hypnotize. Maybe just subliminal messaging.
Because they kept doing that throughout the movie.
So when he's no,
okay.
And she even referred to him. You're the guy from the videos. Oh, she was. I hope I don't have to watch your videos anymore. That's what Alice says to him. But I love that she sneaks out very easily, right?
Okay, what? No.
And then she's able to sneak in and put the pills in the drink with no one seeing her.
There's a lot because she's not a good sneaker, because later on, Jack asks her, you think you could sneak out? And she goes, yeah. And she's caught within 2 seconds.
Oh, yeah. She's
but like, I mean, again, this is the orderly you're talking about. I mean, it wasn't the brightest bulb.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it probably wasn't that difficult to sneak and put the pills there.
Yeah. And then he gets caught because he's out too. And then that's when Jeffrey Combs shows up. And it was so weird seeing him in this movie, but it's full moon. So all of those people, you can get beautiful Barbara Crampton is in this movie as a TV host, which that was pretty cool to see her in this movie. It's such a small role, and you're like, wow. And she looks the same today. And this movie is what, 33 years ago? Insane. The best.
I can't believe it's only 33. It feels like it's a lot longer. But again, tell me the other woman did not look like Tim Curry from when he's all made up with the curly hair.
Oh, exactly.
I kept thinking that the whole time. Like, so is she just like the manager of the green whatever company?
Yeah, so she's like, it seems like that's the order of operations, right? Richard Lynch is Wardo. His name's Wardo.
He doesn't look okay. First of all, he doesn't look like a Wardo.
He does not look like a Wardo.
Okay.
Well, we're now, and so there's some fun tidbits that I have from IMDb. One is his son. There's a lot of family members in this movie as like random roles. Wardo's son, Wardo's cameraman in this movie, Richard Lynch's son, plays the cameraman.
Oh, really?
So there's a few more when we get to him. they're really funny. Like the fact that they had their parents, friends,
Well,
mothers
because the
play
budget
these
was
roles.
probably so low, they're
100%. That was the full moon thing to make it like a family thing. So I think sometimes actors were like, maybe it was the favor to get Helen Hunt back in this movie. To the favor. Which
she's
I'll
in
get
the
to
third
later,
one too,
but,
by the way. I think.
Really?
I think so.
Well, I guess Mad About You didn't come on until 93, 94. Wow.
When did-
she probably owed.
So it's probably the beginning. Yeah. I mean, well, you know what? This is a
That's
franchise,
pretty
right?
wild.
So, I mean, I don't know how this movie did. Did the movie do well,
Yeah.
do you know? Or
I don't know.
I mean,
They
well,
keep
enough to
making
do
them, but
3
that was the
movies.
full moon thing. Well, no, the full moon was different. It was more like it probably rented well, so that's why. I don't think this wasn't in the movie.
No, I'm sure.
theaters. I'd be shocked if it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So Jack shows up, and this is great. He shows up at Greenworld. Trying to think how he got tipped off. I think McNulty. Oh yeah, McNulty said there's somebody that was sent back. I don't know who it is because he doesn't say like, "Hey, it's your wife" until later. He says, "Oh, they're there investigating Greenworld."
Wait, hold on a second.
So that's
So
why
he
goes
knows
there.
so. If he knows someone's sent back, how does he not know who it is? They're all working for the same company in the future.
Well, how would they communicate with him? They don't send letters.
No, but
that is why they have to send back art.
But if someone was sent back already, he should already know because he didn't go yet. So if he was there just now to get sent back just now, but the wife was sent back how long ago?
Oh, before? Oh, yeah, I don't know.
It's a small operation. I mean,
maybe maybe he didn't read his email.
when you
Maybe he didn't read his email.
when you see their office in the future, it's not a big office, and there's really not a lot of
Bing
workers
bong,
there.
Bing ding doo doo. Yeah, I know.
So I mean, I would think that everybody would know everybody who's on the mission because it's a small group.
Yeah.
So okay.
And McNulty wants him. McNulty's jealous because if he can come back, even though Jack also slept with the aunt from Family Matters, which that was one of the lines. He's like, "Oh, you want him back because I don't know how things ended with
Jack
him
gets
too."
around.
But he's gonna get like a forever role in the council, which is like a king of the galaxy. That I think that was one of his words that McNulty described it as. But yeah, so Jack shows up at
I was
Greenworld.
saying, you know what?
Yeah.
What just cracks me up is the fact that they're using the name McNulty. Like instead of using the last name, it's such a like an 80s cop movie, using the last name McNulty, and then you see this 20-year-old or whatever as McNulty. It's just so dumb, because it doesn't fit
It's
at
hilarious.
all. The name, it's just that's
The cigar in the mouth, and the fact that he's yelling at this girl that is a 45-year-old man in the body, and just the way he's yelling, it's so.
It
great.
took me I think towards near the end of the movie to realize McNulty was the guy in the beginning of the movie. I didn't know.
Oh my gosh!
I was so lost in this movie. I'm telling you, this is one of the most confusing.
Well, you have to watch it again
No,
after we're done.
no,
You
no.
can watch it again, and
I'm telling.
then
I mean, listen, we've covered a lot of movies. We've covered a lot of bad movies. I don't think I have been as confused as I was in this movie than any of the movies we've ever done. I mean, like I said, I honestly did not know that McNulty was the same guy in the beginning of the movie. So just to give you an idea, I didn't know the plot of this movie. I didn't know, why, what's happening. I just kept going to scene to scene. So,
so when he shows up at Greenworld, he goes talk to the landscapers. The one guy is like an old school LA Raiders hat. It kind of looks like Undertaker when he was an actor in the 80s. And he's like, "Yeah, well, how your truck was there, try to kill, my friend." "Oh, I don't know, somebody stole it." And then I love when they asked the one guy, which it's not a family member according to the IMDb, but I couldn't find his name. But he was such a bad actor. He goes, "I don't know. I parked the truck and then it was gone." And then he looks over at the other guy, and then that's when the transfer of the forklift comes, pins him into the wall. So he is stuck on a pallet, which would probably break his stomach or his ribs. And that's when he decides to press the button for his 10 seconds.
Correct.
But he looks around kind of like Alice does later, but he is quicker about it. He smashes through it and then takes forever to pull his gun out and shoot the guys from point
he
blank.
does everything very slow, but he seems to have
He's old.
He seems to have more power than the Trancers. More strength, more I honestly, I almost thought he was a Trancer. Like, I didn't know like what he was because it just like he seemed to. I don't know. It was just like is he just like Chuck? Okay, so are they cops in the future? Is that what they are, or hunters?
Well,
Are
they're
they like
kinda
hunter?
like
The Trancer hunters?
yeah, I guess they're kind of like bounty hunters
Okay.
to kill the. Yeah, that's what they
Okay,
are.
because he
But
definitely has skill. You know, he's got the really the only person in the movie that has skill, or if you want to call it skill, but it's like
Yeah.
he's the only one that is the closest thing that has some kind of skill. But yeah, when I mean
Yeah.
breaking through the pallets, I'm like, is he super strength or something, or you know, because even when he punches some of them, they go flying.
Yeah, it was like I wish they would have had like obviously we had the main guy, but they should have had a henchman that Jack could have like a one-on-one fight. Again, again his age, which is crazy that Thomerson's only 45 in this movie. Because I'm telling you, like Bronson at this point was 20, man, almost 30 years older.
You know what?
Like
They look the same
25.
age.
So you didn't even think, yeah, no, they look the same. Like you think Death Wish 3? Like that's what I was saying. Like Death Wish 3 Bronson in this type of movie, I know we would never have done it. He would have been. Could you imagine him delivering some of these one-liners?
Then it's a different movie. Then okay, so we have a
Yeah.
different movie here. This guy is like I mean I know I've seen him in a bunch of things, you know, but he's just a clown. Like he's very clowny, and so like it's hard to take him serious at all, and you know that's part of the problem, right? I mean I know the movie's not being taken serious, but even in the serious moments, it just comes across clowny. Like he's not a hero, you know. He's like a sidekick. This guy.
Yeah. No. I agree. I think he does. He is like he's trying to be like a Charles Bronson.
He's trying
to be that commando
Correct.
with the one-liner. So that's what they're going
Yeah,
for.
but I think he thinks he's more studly than he is, and I think that's part of the problem.
Yeah.
Because he's not studly.
He's not. So this is where we get to Alice. She's in the barn, and then she's this is when she stops time because she escaped. She stopped the time. They weren't even inside yet. Jeffrey Combs and Tim Curry from God, I can't believe you said that. That's hilarious. From Rocky Horror, like she runs past but so slow and then gets caught. So she's caught again.
See, that's why I thought that they go in slow motion when they freeze, because she was running very slow.
Yeah. No, she was just running really slow. She was maybe shocked that it worked.
No, I think it affects them too. I think they slow down time, and so everything around them is slow, and they're affected.
But they can move?
Listen, like I said,
because they were frozen. The orderly was frozen.
But it's also it was also a very slow time. I mean, they were frozen for a little bit, but they were moving slow. Jack was moving slow when he does it. So I just think it affects them somehow. I don't think that, because there's no way she'd be running that slow.
Yeah. So the whole plot of the first movie, there was a whistleblower. So they said, "Oh, what's the name of the new person who's running the?"
Is it Green Company also in the first one?
I have no idea. Okay. But I love when he's like, "Oh, his name's Eduardo." You mean Eduardo, the whistleblower? And so he changed his name. Instead of making it something totally different like Frank, he changed his name from Eduardo. Like, that is what he did in order. Oh, wait. No, that's actually Eduardo. What? So it's like the same guy, I guess, because he says, "Oh, you like my new body?" So that's what he says. Like, that's at the end of the movie when he has like that standoff with Jack.
No, I know. But so like, is it like, so the bodies they take, are they alive people every time, or are they dead people?
Yeah, that's a great question.
I mean, I
maybe it's people about to die that you take over full time. Maybe you could choose, like in that Chris Rock movie when he comes back and he becomes the old white guy.
Or
maybe
what was the movie we covered
that?
when the one came back as a playmate? The alien came back as a playmate. The other, we covered a movie. The girl was running around in a bikini the whole time, and then with her two other aliens. You don't remember?
No, we covered a movie that there was three
There were
aliens.
3 aliens searching for something. One came back as a woman because he was reading a Playboy, and every time they looked at him, remember he would change his image to the person he was looking at. We thought they were going to turn into I think Jason at one point or something. Or yes, we covered a movie.
No.
Oh my gosh.
I don't remember
Okay,
it.
I have to. I have to go back.
Listeners, at sequels only. If you can remember the sequel, usually I'm pretty good about remembering. I don't remember.
Yes, he was reading like a Playboy magazine, so he turned into a Playboy sort of like model or girl, and so that was his like alien thing. I gotta go back and look and figure out what.
Man, I don't know. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, I'll do some research.
Wow. All right, good. Do research on one that we did.
But yeah, I want more answers on
yeah.
Trancers. I just don't understand. Not even Trancers, just like Jack. Like, can they go into anybody? Is it randomized? So like you might come back as a 15-year-old girl, and the next time you might come back as an 80-year-old woman. How does that work?
Yeah.
How does the coming back work? Like, yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing that's maybe it's explained in the first one. I'm gonna guess probably not. It's probably just like this. Hey, we're gonna let you know. Even the fact that how does he get to the right place at the right time to save?
How does everybody arrive at the same place?
The cops are there, which I already wrote this down at this point, but it stays true for the whole movie. No extras. Every person that we see in this movie is there for an intense, a purpose, and usually has a line. Like those 2 cops that are hauling her out, and Jack pulls up at the right time. Hey, what are visiting hours? Oh, they're closed. You're back tomorrow. Oh, really?
Ridiculous. Wait, you talking about when she's on the gurney?
And he takes her. He picks up picks up the gurney and lays her into the car.
Why didn't he unstrap her? Like he literally, like the fact that he takes the whole gurney and sits her in the front seat with him, and then pulls over. And
he waited until they pulled over. Yeah. Then they pulled over somewhere in old California.
How heavy would that be to lift someone on a gurney like that and to throw in the car? Like ridiculous. Yeah. Like. Yeah.
Do you remember her first line to him?
I do not.
Jack, is it? It is you, the only man I've ever had sex with. That's her first line. Some of the lines in this movie, again, the delivery is not good, but the written line, I can't believe they would that would make the end. That would make the movie. Like even the interaction with Helen Hunt and Alice, like so she's wearing like this hideous color, not a hideous color, but it's like burnt orange. That was like her hospital outfit. And then he goes, "Oh, do you want to change into my girlfriend's clothes?" And it's the same color. It's the same outfit essentially, just a shirt.
How many times does he get caught kissing her? And Helen Hunt says, "All right, you do not make out," and he does it again. Like he's constantly.
He does it 5 minutes later. The fact that she was okay with it when remember his reasoning?
No, well, she wasn't okay with it, but she said like, "Don't
No, she wasn't. But
yeah, I know, but like he literally did it 2 other times after that until. Because she's dying. Yeah. She's going to die in the future or something like that.
Yeah, that was crazy. Hey, come on. She's going to die in 48 hours. Let me have my phone with her, right? Am I right? Like, that's what it sounds like. He's just like, come on, I'll pass.
It's ridiculous. Because, okay, if that's the case, he kisses her again at the end, and she's not dying. So, yeah,
that was weird.
In front of Helen Hunt again.
That was a full makeout. Full makeout. And now we find out how far they are. So they're from 100 years into the future. Like that is what that movie posits. So like when we see this movie, because I feel like it's set in 1991, like that's what we're watching, but where they're from is 100 years. So I know we might not be around until 2091, maybe somebody will listen to this in 2091. And I wonder if the future looks like that room.
Oh my gosh. Well,
and Trancers are
so let me ask you this. So something else I'm very confused with. So the spaceship or the time machine that's in the barn.
The one in the barn, and then there's the one in the catering tent.
Okay, so whose time machine is in the barn?
The same one. She has the same watch.
No, but okay, so McNulty has his own time machine somewhere else?
No, remember McNulty's never came to fruition. Only the door was there.
Yeah, but then how did McNulty go back?
She opened it up at the same time.
How does McNulty go back? Because it only fits one person in the time machine.
Makes no sense.
Okay, so
When he just showed up, when they said it only fits one person, and then maybe once she went back, then his worked. That's the only thing I can think of.
They didn't, because they didn't explain
But
that.
he was there at the same time.
I know that, but I want to know how, because I'm assuming that's McNulty's time machine that brought him there. But clearly, Jack must have had a time machine somewhere, because how did he get there? How did his wife get there? And why is there only one time?
Well,
machine?
she lives there. She's normal. She's normal.
Yeah, but how did she? No, she's from the future.
Helen Hunt is from the future.
That's not his wife. Or that I'm talking.
Oh, you mean Alice? Alice is from the future.
Right.
Yeah.
So how did Alice get there? Where's her time machine? Where's Jack's time machine? And where's McNulty's time machine? And there's only one time machine.
Well, Alice did have a time machine that she had to watch.
Yeah, but
I don't think.
But
Jack
she didn't have a time machine. She just had to watch. Because there's only
she had to watch, and then she dropped the thing. She dropped the thing in the barn. That's what made it
that's the only time machine that's in the movie, and she uses it by herself.
Yeah. What I'm saying is, because he has his own. Maybe there's some dumb thing. I know it does make sense. Because he's back so quick.
He's back before her almost. Like it's almost like he's already there when Okay, all right. So that's the one thing that I'm glad you're confused with too. Okay.
Yeah, I was confused. But so when Jack's talking to Alice and he's trying to say, and about that, and I got to tell you about her, and then, let's make out, and then they start making out, and then I love when he's like, Lena, you got to hear me out on this.
I want to say there's 6 makeout sessions, including Hunt and Alice, like between both of them.
Yeah,
so gross. Okay.
No, there's definitely way too much. And then there's a line that I did research because I never heard of this phrase.
I know you're Mexican divorce.
Yeah.
I did the same thing. I never heard of it either, and I had to look it up as well.
So you're telling me people like it? I hope to never get divorced, but people that get divorced, it takes that long that you'd be like, man, I gotta go to Mexico.
And how official is it really if you're going to Mexico? Like, probably from some guy's garage, and he's gonna divorce you.
Yeah, you like explain this whole thing. Oh yeah, she was with the pool boy, blah, 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 and then I was with her sister, blah blah blah, and then it's like, okay, and they sign something, and you give them $100, 100 pesos, and you're good. How would there be any way to do a divorce?
I'm gonna find that hard to believe. That it's a real thing.
Yeah.
I did the same thing. I looked it up as well. I'm like, and there's definitely a definition. I just want to know who used it. Like, I can't imagine people really using that. I think it's probably something that was thrown around because it just sounds so ridiculous.
And I can't believe we've never seen that in a movie. That's an 80s movie plot. Oh my God, we accidentally get married. We have to go to Mexico, like some road trip movie.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah. No.
Never heard
Never
of that.
heard of it either.
Yeah,
I agree.
I had to do that.
I agree. Okay.
God. And then so when he explains to Lena she's going to be gone in 48 hours, blah blah blah. Her last line was, "Okay, but don't let me catch you making out with that teenager again."
And it was so creepy when she said it. And she says, "If I catch you kissing that teenager, I'll kick your ass." When she said that, I wasn't thinking she was a teenager, right? Because they really,
I wasn't either.
They really don't mention that. So back to what we're saying, she definitely was 15. Supposed to be 15. So how creepy was that? Because he literally kisses her, that teenager, 2 other times then.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, that was a creepy line.
Yeah. That was very weird. So then you have like the deli delivery service that comes to Happ Ashby's house. He's sneaking in booze. And then, God damn it, Ashby. Because he keeps calling him captain, so I guess he was the captain of the California Angels. And all the signs, all the posters, he had the pennants behind him, and like a Cy Young trophy, and like all these but I love that it had like the 1976, 1977 Yankees World Series against the Dodgers, like the pennant just from that game. Like he probably maybe he was pitching that game, but the guy he sneaks in the booze, and then he turns into a trancer.
Yeah. So how would he know? Like, how would they know that he's delivering alcohol there?
Because they know he's a booze hound. So maybe like when he put it down, he heard something.
I guess. I don't know. Okay.
Take the money. It's in my back pocket.
Yeah.
This is my deli guy, man. My deli guy.
All right.
My deli guy.
So we're not gonna. I'm gonna skip ahead
going out of
for
their
some
way
of
to
this
keep you
part
alive,
because
so you
we
can
get like the
procreate.
greatest scene ever.
We'll take care of the Trancers, Happ. Stop worrying.
You know, what's the use of me drying out, you guys? They're going to get me any day now.
Hold yourself together, Ashby.
45.
He wants to die.
This is it. Boot Hill, man. Smoke City. The final shower. I can see it coming. Boy, but I'll tell you something. I'd love to play one more game of baseball before this thing is over. You know
Oh
that?
my God! It's one more game
I
that
really
we
would. Wouldn't
get.
have to
We
be an
get to
Angel
later.
Stadium,
Skip ahead a
anything
little
like
bit.
that. But
Yeah,
I'd
come on.
sure like to play 9 more innings before those pukes
He's an
turn me
awful
into
actor.
a
I'm sorry.
puzzle.
No offense to that guy.
Yeah,
but
he was pretty bad.
it's bad.
Oh, here it is. The greatest line in
Hey, Jack,
sequel
What's
watching
with this
history of
ham?
ours.
It's stuffed like a turkey.
And the Academy Award. And then this guy turns into a Trancer? Like, how does this
And he's
fit?
drinking,
He's drinking
What
already.
the hell are you doing?
He's drinking like he's in pain.
They're trying to get me.
he's pounding it.
Yeah.
Did it, Jack? We scorched another one.
Here it is.
Oh, God, how I'd like to make love to you right now.
Oh, she is like, horny
But look
for
at him.
this, for Trancer death. And he has the gun pointing in her back.
Jack.
Oh, dude.
Jack, you son of a bitch!
Lena, don't jump to conclusions.
I can't believe he's
You're the one
45.
doing all the jumping, Jack.
It's amazing.
Why does she keep butting in on us?
Because
This
I
is like a
happen
comedy
to be
sketch.
his wife.
So
And
am
it's
I.
great. So am
Ladies,
I.
please.
You know what you better do, Jack?
Bad.
You better decide which one of us you want to be your wife, because I'm not the sharing type.
Yeah.
But
Neither
the
am I.
greatest line in sequel history right here.
Good work,
dude.
Jack. Now you got them both mad at you.
God damn it, McNulty. The next time someone hands you an exploding ham, I'm gonna pass the mustard.
What does that mean?
Dude.
What does that mean? I wrote that down. I'm like, what does that mean? Like okay,
I
you
know.
it's a prime time for a one-liner, and that's what he said.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
Okay, the exploding ham, great. There's got to be a big finish for that. The mustard? What does that mean? So bad. That scene just show. I mean, if anyone's never seen the movie and all they're seeing is that clip, that's what I'm talking about. Like the overacting.
So then you'll want to watch it like I did, and
No.
I watched it twice.
It looked like a
ham
skit.
bomb.
Like it really looked like a skit. Like it was just so corny and like, oh, the acting was awful.
yeah.
I mean, the guy, the delivery guy coming in growling, like it's just like, oh my gosh, the slow motion ham throw. Wait, so
through the window.
okay,
And the explosion happens far
Oh.
away.
Ed, how do you know there was a bomb in there? Is that something normal? So like Trancers, that's
Because it's not, you don't stuff a ham. McNulty said it.
but,
it's
but the
ham
minute
stuffed
he
like a
looked at it,
turkey.
he knew it was a bomb. So is that like their weapon? The Trancers have exploding hams?
Yeah, but here's the most important thing. So if they're able to sneak a ham in there, why don't they just like have multiple people run up on the house, throw bombs at it?
So multiple
then-
hams.
They have the future. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like they have an opportunity to sneak up and shoot him.
But they don't.
And why not right then and there? Instead of having a Trancer, hire an actual
One.
like assassin.
One Trancer.
Opens the door. Oh, hi, this is your food delivery.
Yeah.
Once he turns Ashby.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Over.
Yeah.
They're really bad at it. Bad guys. in
Well,
this
I
movie.
mean, they're
Some of the
made
worst.
into Trancers, right? So they're not normal, bad guys. So, they don't have any
Yeah.
skills. But I was confused that I'm thinking like, all right, so all these Trancers like, have ham bombs. That's something like because Jack knew immediately.
Yeah, immediately.
And,
Yeah,
and
no, he-
how do
he
you
knows
stuff
all-
a ham? Isn't ham solid?
You gotta put a hole in it.
Can't stuff a ham. That's ridiculous. Of all, like what?
That's why McNulty was onto it.
Okay, he's that good that he just knew. Like, why didn't they do like a
Yeah.
turkey? That would have been much better. They hand him a turkey, and if you're gonna disguise a bomb into something that doesn't get stuffed, you're kind of blowing it right there.
But then the line would be next time somebody
Pass you a
hands me
turkey,
an
I'll get the
exploding
mustard.
turkey. I'll hand you
I did a gravy.
or the gravy. Yeah, yeah, mustard or the mayo, the cranberry sauce.
Oh my gosh,
But
so stupid.
so Ashby, he steals Jack's vet, and in this one he's in the full baseball uniform, hammered, and then right at the same time we get the homeless guys. That they're going to pick up the homeless guys, and they're giving out free hot dogs. So the actors, the two hobos asking for chili and mustard on their hot dogs, are Albert Bann and Gordon Hunt, the fathers of the director, and Helen Hunt's
Oh my
dad
gosh,
are in this movie.
that's amazing.
They're the ones that are asking for that. And then after that, that's when we have, hey, I know you guys are doing something really nice, and I don't mean this the wrong way, but you gotta take your hot dog the right way. You gotta have a good bun. You guys got a relish? And then that's when it's like, oh yeah, it's right over here in the back of this van. And they push him in.
Okay. The way they put two people in there before Jack goes over there. The second one is standing there with the door open before he gets pushed in there. He doesn't see someone else already in there. The one that's in there doesn't try to get out.
I know.
Like it's not like they're so.
They're not making sounds at all. When Jack gets over to it, there's no sounds being made at all. Help me!
I thought maybe there's someone in the back seat with a gun to them. There's no one else in the back. So they easily could have just tried to get out or whatever. They didn't even try. So, okay. I mean, so is Helen Hunt's father an actor? Like does he have an IMDb?
No. I don't know.
I'd be interested to see, this is the only movie he was in.
Gordon Hunt, let's see. Ooh. Let's see. Oh. Not a lot. Oh, yeah. Big voice guy.
Okay. So.
Oh, no. He's a recording guy.
Okay.
Recording director for things that a lot of cartoons, Scooby-Doo, Smurfs Christmas Special. Yeah, he voice director.
Okay. Because it would have been funny if
credits.
he was only in this movie. That would all the extras, that were related to someone that, their only credit is Trancers 1 and Trancers 2.
His character is Mustard Man. He was in Mad About You, which is pretty cool. 98.
So this movie,
Mad About You came out in 92.
So right after
a year
this.
after this movie. All right. Crazy.
Well, maybe it
Insane.
didn't
But that's
take.
pretty
When
cool
did
that it got-
when did Trancers 3 come out? Because I wonder.
He was in that?
Well, I'm almost positive she's in it. But so this movie
Wow.
has 2 mustard references.
Yeah. Big on mustard.
You don't see
Big-
that. You don't see
big
that too often in
sponsors.
movies. You don't see a lot of mustard references.
Yeah, not a lot of love. What's your favorite type of mustard?
You're asking me?
Yeah.
Golden, spicy.
No, I'm asking the audience.
Well, I thought you were talking.
Oh, bold?
Yeah.
I know. All right.
Well, you just having.
I like the stone ground one.
You're just starting
when-
conversation on
yeah.
mustard right now.
Well, you started on mustard. I was wondering what was your favorite mustard?
Golden. I guess the spicy one, the brown mustard.
Spicy one?
Yeah.
I like the horseradish one, too.
That
was
is pretty good. I don't think the audience
They're
really
like- they're-
cares
yeah.
what kind of mustard we like, though.
Well, if you want to let us know your mustard at sequels only. So then Tim Thomerson's brother and father play in the homeless baseball game.
This game is ridiculous.
It's ridiculous that he wants to play a game. He parks his, because he stole Jack's car. He parks it and he's like, again, his bad drunk, like it's almost like when people play drunk and it's bad. They're like they have no bones.
Oh.
They're moving as like a shape of Jello, and they move like.
But just the way
yeah.
he's moving and
I've
the way
never walked
he's
that way.
walking, I think anyone can really talk and act drunk, and not look like that. And he looked like he was in acting class, when the teacher says, "All right, be drunk," and he's throwing on some kind of acting, because it just looked so over the top that he didn't even seem drunk. It was just so stupid. But
Yeah.
so he wants to play one last baseball game. He doesn't have any friends or anything. That his only choice is to go to an underground bridge. Go to underneath a bridge where a bunch of homeless people are and ask them to play baseball with you. That was his first option.
It seems like that's it.
That's his first option.
It seems like that is all he has. I know, yeah. And the best is they were like laughing at him, like, "Oh, I'm a loser."
Until they see the alcohol.
And then he showed the booze. Yeah.
Well, I mean, those guys live for booze, so yeah. But I mean,
Yeah.
what kind of game does he think he's really going to get from them? Because first of all, he got very aggravated very quick at the players.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, this scene almost seemed like filler. I mean, it was like just so out of place. It was so
nothing happened from it.
nothing. The only thing happened is
Yeah.
Jack shows up at or no, the cops show up or whatever at first. The scanners show up, right?
Yeah.
And then Jack, because
Yeah.
Jack drives in very slow again, opens his door and knocks out like 3 scanners by opening his door while driving very slow.
Yeah. And then after that, do you remember what happens? It's Jack and he's with Alice in the car, and she wants to make out again, and he's like hesitant. She says, "I was your wife first," and then they tongued.
Okay.
They both
So
stuck tongues out.
I mean, imagine this actress. She reads the script, and it's like, all right, makeout session number 5. Like she must have been like, because they're making it look like it's all her in the movie, because she's the one that initiates every single time. But like, do you think he told after they signed her, he's told the director, all right, listen, we got to throw in a bunch of kissing scenes in there, because I mean, again, she's 22, he's 45, and he looks like he's 55. He does not look 45. So, it's like, the outside of maybe the last scene, I get it, fine, you kiss her goodbye, but these makeout scenes seem so forced. Like they're so unnecessary. Like it's not like nothing. It doesn't engage the movie at all. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't push the movie forward. It's nothing. It's just really just a makeout scene.
Hey, you want to make out? Yeah, no. If we can get her, man. She was in Amityville 1992. It's about time.
I think
Trancers 3.
I want to say I tried.
Freak. Dude, Encino, man. She's like one of the main characters. She's in the Brady Bunch movie.
I'm almost positive I tried. So, yeah. The problem is with Instagram, what they did now is once you send one message, you can't send another one until they accept your message.
I'll send one.
Then you send one.
I'll tell her how much I love. I'll send her a clip of this and how much I loved everything but her gun shooting in this movie.
Oh my gosh. Gun holding. Just
forget
the shooting, the holding of the gun. She was holding it like she was holding a purse. Like that's how she was holding it. Like it was so light and okay.
And then at the same, so then we cut to we get our Wardo, Dr. Wardo, Ed Wardo. He's on the Sadie Brady show, and it's Barbara Crampton. It never ages, and that was cool. She reposted my story.
Yeah, that was
when
cool.
I saw her in this movie because she is a beautiful vampire who does not age. She looks the same, and it's insane. So yeah, she's the best. So then she's interviewing him. He talks about the drug that's we find out the main drug right after the scene is Skirt Night 71, which is crack from the future. That's what Jack tells us. Their conversation was really not that much. They talked about the environment. It was again, filler and nothing to really move the story along too much. It's not like he revealed anything, but it really was just a time that, okay, this is what is really happening.
And there's only now at this point is only 20 minutes left. We up until this point, again, there's no plot. There's literally
nothing.
They're not explaining anything. I mean, the fact that they're having a baseball game in the middle of whatever's going on, and now as we're getting closer to the end of the movie, we're getting some kind of plot, which is still an awful plot.
Yeah. Well, we're getting, and now Lena is by herself because she goes looking for Jack, which is so stupid.
Correct.
She's at Union Station, and that's where the Greenwald people were, and she gets kidnapped pretty quick.
Well, no. Well, okay. So he goes to her. He goes, all right. Because she says, I'm being followed. He's like, do you think you can escape unnoticed? She goes,
oh, yeah.
She goes, yes.
You're right. Yeah.
She walks out the front door. She gets picked up immediately. So the fact that she thinks that she can get out unnoticed, and the minute she opens the door, she's picked up. There was no effort.
She's not good.
No, she's not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not too good.
Okay.
And then Cap wants to go. Happ Ashby wants to help, but he's too sauced up. He can't move because he wants to go help Lena, so that doesn't work too well.
Well, Jack tells him he can't go because you're right. But somehow Jack ends up up the tree in the park.
Oh, how does that happen? How are the guys walking the yards, which should probably walk, and he climbs a tree and is able to jump out on that?
Because, okay, how did he know that's where the tree, how did he know that's where they're going to be? The tree, because the way he jumped, the tree was pretty high, the branch where he was. So, he jumped down.
Yeah.
How did he get up there? And how did he get there? Right. Unnoticed, and how did he get up there? So, yeah, ridiculous.
I wrote, how did Jack get in the tree?
Yep.
And then he quickly changed the clothes. That quick.
Oh my gosh.
He changed the
Well,
clothes.
and his
He was
style. This
able
is where he
to,
slicks back his hair now. Back to back.
He does, yeah.
Again, throughout the movie, it's back and forth between like a poof to slick. But there's a scene at the end where his hair is all messed up, like a poofy.
That's great.
And then the next scene is back to slick.
That's amazing.
Okay.
And then they have Helen Hunt. Dr. Warder wants to bring her to the advanced lab because he wants to turn her into a Trancer. I want Jack to be able to have to see her like this. And it's like, whoa. And then they have her. Jack is bringing in, they're like, hey, that's Alice Stillwell. He has the gun on her, walking her in as the cop. And then,
which, by the way, the
when
cop
she
uniform
said
fit perfectly.
He was probably waiting. He was probably in that tree for a while.
So waited a couple of
It was
cops
like
and goes,
tall
oh, you know,
guy.
that one looks like my size.
Short guy. Yeah. I gotta wait for my size, and then I can complete this jump.
Okay.
But the shooting, dude, Alice's
my
shooting,
gosh.
which if you guys haven't seen it,
Oh my gosh.
I would definitely recommend watching this movie. But on YouTube, you can watch clips. But her shooting this scene, she's shooting. That's probably shooting blanks or something was happening with the gun that it scared her. But she was closing her eyes and turning her head, which was amazing.
It looked like, again, like if you gave someone like a weapon from the future and you didn't know how to use it, you know, and you're holding it, like that's how she was holding this gun. Like she's never seen a gun before, or she's seen it on TV. Wasn't like literally like her hands are loose, like she's holding it like out in front of her. Like it was the worst fake shooting I've ever seen, ever.
It was horrible. Yeah, no, it's definitely the worst. Hey, real quick before I forget, another cameo was the two elderly ladies at the landscape place that were like
Biodegradable.
It was like, don't worry, ladies, they're biodegradable. That was Charles Band's mom and his ex-mother-in-law.
So they all have lines. So they're all in SAG.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
They are in SAG.
Okay.
Oh my God, so amazing. So so this is where he jumped out of the tree, the shooting is ridiculous. Oh yeah, and then Jack when he's leaving, this is when he's leaving, and he blows up the future herbs. Like he's just like torching the place out while he's leaving.
Well, he had all that. So wait, that was a spray can with gasoline that he was torching?
Yeah.
What is that? Like, why? What would you need a spray can?
A homemade blowtorch.
And where did he get it from?
Or something. I don't know.
It just happened to be sitting. So the
future.
one thing that you would not want near your plants is something that could cause a fire like that. And if either he didn't bring that himself because I didn't see him carry it, but if he did, that's ridiculous. But two, why would that greenhouse have a
why would we say? Yeah, why would Dr.
spraying
Wardo have that? Do you remember earlier when Dr. Wardo was talking about his herbs, and then we find out a little bit afterwards, what they do? But it's the Tim Curry lookalike and Jeffrey Combs, and he is explaining like what happened to my plants over there. It was an orderly. He turned off the water, and it's like, have you taken care of him? And it's like, wow, that guy's the worst employee. He's an orderly that was actually a former mental patient. They gave him a job there. He fucked up like 3 times in this movie, hooking up with a girl. So that girl is probably a real nurse, and she's hooking up with this crazy guy.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, it almost seems like, first of all, I didn't even know if he was a bad guy or a good guy. Like, I wasn't sure. Like,
well, he turned out to be a good guy.
No, he did turn out to be a good guy, but like,
he sort of sacrificed.
But he was a bad guy most of the movie.
Yeah.
So okay.
Oh my God! And then they get to the barn, and that's when we find out. Then there's the wrinkle of Alice goes, Jack, you have to go back. What? I can't go back. And it's like, wait, what? So we're gonna wait till the last 5 minutes. It took a while for, Alice to be found out that this is the husband. This is her husband, and now we find out 5 minutes to go. Oh yeah, actually Jack has to go back.
And McNulty's mission, which basically put her life on the line the entire movie, is a complete failure because Jack doesn't go back.
That is true.
Okay.
It is, yeah.
Okay. Why is Jack so important?
It's pretty bad.
Is he like the main hunter? Like,
oh yeah, he's probably just like the main guy, the guy that everybody
okay.
But look what he does in this movie.
I know.
He takes out so many people in this movie and doesn't get a bump.
So what?
He doesn't get knocked out.
Okay.
Nothing.
Okay. So the mission is to send McNulty back into a 15-year-old girl's body to take back the best hunter that the future has. What chance does that 15-year-old McNulty have? I mean,
Yeah,
I want to say
that's
0 to none. I mean, so like that plan.
And he hates him. What was there nobody at the office that Jack liked? It was the one person that he hated.
Because he,
McNulty.
well, because he probably tries to hook up with everybody.
That is true.
I mean, but yeah, I mean, and McNulty throughout the whole movie doesn't try to bring Jack back once until the end.
Yeah. He should have tried to do it early.
So,
Hey, come here. Hey, you want to go in this barn?
Yeah.
And shove him in there.
Okay.
Take him in there.
Okay.
But so we talked about this a little bit earlier.
Oh,
So
my
like
gosh.
Richard Lynch and all the Trancers are like they're not surrounding the barn. They're in front of the barn.
And it's
not
like
going
30
around
of
the
them.
back.
There's like 30 of them.
Terrible. Yeah. And they're planning to not light the entire barn on fire. They burn a truck and then push the truck into the front of the barn.
Okay.
And not through it, just barely.
And the
through
truck
front.
wasn't on. Like, why didn't they start the truck, put it in reverse? Wouldn't that made like more?
Yeah.
Okay.
Put the brick down.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so Jack has a great plan. For one, how does the plow drive by itself?
Oh, yeah. I guess it could be the same thing to do with a car. Somehow, like a brick or something puts it down. But that's not even the craziest part. The fact
tub?
that the fact that he looked in the tub, and then you're thinking in your head, okay, they showed us what he was going to do, so he's not in there. He's not in there at all. They're shooting at it. He's going to pop out somewhere else. No, they're all in it, and they should all be dead.
Okay. What is the tub made of that not one bullet went through the tub?
Bulletproof tub.
Bulletproof tub.
That's what
And
it is.
the way he gets up, all of them get up and start shooting 30 people, they don't get shot once. And it's not even like
and they couldn't do a second take. They couldn't even get out of the tub. The way they got up was very like,
it was. And
flipping.
but it wasn't like they got up the shooting and go back in the tub. They literally stayed out of the tub the entire time, like waist up and shooting. So they were an easy target. And again, the truck was moving very slow. So like everything else does, you're going to tell me not one person got shot, but everybody else died.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No one got shot. Like Alice should have got shot in the shoulder.
Something. Right.
Something like Lena.
Yeah.
And then she survives. And it's
Right.
like, oh man, that's great.
Okay.
But no.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. But what happens now? Everything's on fire. You get Happ Ashby and McNulty show up in an old fire truck, and they're there to just put out the fire. Like I thought they were going to shoot the hose at Wardo. No, just to put out a fire.
But they're putting out the fire that Jack started to begin with.
no, that's not the one that Jack
That's
started.
not the barn with the drugs?
No, they were in no, that's a different place.
Oh.
That was the greenhouse that was at the mental hospital.
Okay.
No, this is the one that was started by the,
where they're
the
okay,
henchman
I
that lit
got
the
you.
fire
I got
truck
you.
on fire and then pushed it into
Okay.
the building.
Okay.
Which is like the dumbest thing ever.
Okay.
But and then you know what happens again? Ashby needs to protect himself in the future. He stands right in front of the freaking guy. The guy picks up a rifle, takes forever, and then you get like an American ninja like throw. It reminded me of the beginning of the movie when he's throwing the screwdrivers in guys' necks. He throws that freaking rake through
Pitchfork.
the guy's chest.
It was pitchfork.
Pitchfork, yes.
So okay, let me ask you this. McNulty's a hunter from the future, supposed to bring Jack back. Does McNulty do anything?
No, is he a hunter? I thought he was just like a business,
so wait.
office guy.
So you thought that the future, they need to bring back the best hunter they have, so they're going to send the copy machine guy to go bring it back?
HR guy. Making copies.
I'm assuming he's a hunter too. Why else wouldn't you send a hunter to bring back a hunter?
McNulty doesn't shoot one
That's
freaking
what I'm
gun
saying.
or have a gun
So
the
then
whole
why send him?
movie.
Why send McNulty? He does nothing the entire movie. In fact, he hangs out with the baseball guy the whole movie.
Yeah. That baseball guy definitely made it pass. Remember what he says? Oh, you're McNulty. Because he was probably like describing how McNulty is this real
grouchy
asshole,
mustache,
smokes a big
copy.
cigar.
Of course, yeah. But again, let's not forget that McNulty's 15 years old in this movie. So,
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Okay.
But the actress is 22.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so Jack throws the pitchfork right through the gut. And then this is when Jack, you got to go back. I'm not going back. Because Lena's like, no, Jack, no. And then Jack says this whole thing. You have to, Alice, you're going to die. So you have to go to the future to not die. And I'm like, what? Earlier in the movie, he said that she was going to go back and she's dead. So it made no sense. So he made a perfect lie to convince Lena, hey, it's okay if I make out with this girl.
But doesn't she die in Jack's arms? Right? Because I think he says that. I thought he said that.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So by her not dying, changes the entire future. And Jack's not there.
It does.
So, yeah. Like, so basically.
So where's Jack on that night now?
Yeah, I mean, so look, what happens? Like, you know, like, and if Jack, again, I mean, we see this all the time in you know, like time travel, but like if Jack is staying back and she doesn't die in the future where she's normally with Jack, is there a Jack in the future?
Yeah.
Okay.
Great question.
Right. So anyway, so he does one last makeout session with her before she leaves.
Oh my God. Can you believe that? One more?
But he does another one with Helen Hunt right after.
I know.
I mean,
tonsil hockey, man.
Honestly, I don't think I've seen a movie with so many makeout sessions. I mean, you know, usually there's one scene of, you know, a sex scene or whatever, and that's it, right? You know, this movie has about 6 makeout sessions. You know, like awful.
And the time travel machine looks so bad.
Oh my gosh.
So when her, do you remember her line to him? Well, I have memories of us. Like, what is so special about Jack Death that? Oh my God, she's like, oh, I gotta make sure. And then she's in the chamber. You see through the glass, and they're touching hands through the glass. Yep. The seal around it is terrible looking. The whole spaceship.
It's a Saturday. It's literally a time machine from Saturday Night Live. If they did a skit like this, that you would see that. That's awful.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Art's back. You know, Alice goes back, and you know the Ann from Family Matters is there, takes her out. Art's there. He's back to normal. And then we cut back to Jack. So Jack and Lena are closed down the house. So I was thinking, like, where do they get money?
Well, the baseball
Who pays the money?
The baseball guy
from the future. Loaded. Oh no, I know he is. So he's giving the money because remember when she wants to look for houses earlier in the movie, she says, "Jack, we've saved up enough."
From what?
Is he working a 9 to 5?
Neither one is working.
Missed it.
Yeah, I know. Neither.
I know, but did we miss that? Did they not show that to us? Were they on vacation? Because then they were able to buy a house with no jobs.
Yeah.
Because the guy asked Happ, "Oh, what do they do for a living?"
What do you say? Hypnotist?
Fortune
teller. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I know. It's so dumb. You know,
what a weird thing. Oh no, he owns a business.
This is where
Why do you have to say a weird thing to the guy?
Fortune teller? Like that? They make a lot of money?
Yeah.
So
I always say it's $25 psychic readings. Yeah. I never see a car in the parking lot.
And even if,
right near my house.
And if you go in there, $25, what are you gonna buy a house with that? How many fortunes you gotta, do before you
how many fortunes you gotta tell?
So this is where
honey, I'm home. Oh, hey Frank, how many fortunes did you tell today?
Well, I could tell you
7.
We have enough to order out this week. So
yeah.
So here's where they could have done something that kind of could have helped the movie a little bit is, because they were, holding hands or kissing, I think, again, at the end of the movie. If you saw like a vein popping out of Helen Hunt, right? Like, because she was given the pills, right? Or something, something like when she was
they were trying to, yeah.
So like, it should have ended like that. Like she has some kind of, like, vein and showed that, she's got a little scanner in her. So anyway.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
Or Happ Ashby. I wonder if Happ's in the next one. I feel like I have to watch.
Oh, do me a favor. You can do the watching. You know what? Do me a favor.
He only did up into 5, and then they recast. I think they recasted him or did a new story for 6. There's 6 of them.
Oh my gosh. You know what? Just watch the first one so we can have some kind of idea.
I think maybe I'll do that tonight because now it makes it better, more enjoyable to me that all the people are in it. Like seeing Happ Ashby to learn I don't know what we're gonna say,
Oh
but
my
no,
gosh.
you know what? Maybe I'll
Please,
watch it
because then you
tonight
can give us
when
some
we're done,
answers,
but,
because I have a lot of questions.
yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, so that was Trancers 2. Jamie, I know how you feel about the movie, so I'm gonna ask you another question. There's no way this is on your top 4. It can't be. Worst?
You
Mount
know what?
Rushmore,
I was
worst
thinking
ones
about it.
you've
I
watched?
have to go back and really look, because I mean, we definitely did some duds. And a lot of times I base it on how long it takes me to watch the movie. This one took me
Oh.
a while, right? So, I don't know. I mean, I got to reevaluate, but it's definitely in the top 10. I mean, definitely in the top 10
Yeah,
worst movies.
okay.
It could be a top 5. I have to really go back and check.
Wow.
It was bad. To me, it just, even the action, like, if they could have done, like, even Charles Bronson, some of his action could be silly, but like, it's still good. The action was just so bad. Like, everything was bad. Like, they tried to make him more than it was. Like I said, they tried to make him more of a stud than he was. They tried to make the action bigger than it was. And I feel like none of it worked. It was just awful.
Yeah.
So,
I love these movies.
I know.
I love when people. It's like the Samurai Cops, American Ninja.
okay.
I know American Ninja you
Samurai
like.
Cop blows
but-
us away.
Wow.
Blows it away. Okay.
Okay.
American Ninja 2 by far blows it away. I mean, that's like the best.
Oh no, totally. But I'm saying I love
Yeah.
those type of.
I do.
I don't want to insult American Ninja, but the movies that you have people just like give it
Oh.
their all, it's like so hammy. Put some mustard on it. I don't know.
but see,
It's just I love
okay.
I love these type of
Troll
movies.
2. We talked about this, obviously,
Yeah.
and I know, like, I feel like all the actors gave it their all as well. I mean, the kid, the grandpa, but just because you're giving it all doesn't mean it's good acting, right? Like,
Oh yeah,
so-
no, I don't think it's good. It's to me, it's like it has that. It's very formulaic. Like whoever wrote this movie obviously stole from different ideas, like Terminator and a bunch of different films. But even the one-liners, like, hey, he's about to kill somebody. What's he going to say? Oh, they're biodegradable, or I'll put mustard on it. It's always
but
like
that's
these
the thing.
terrible lines.
The lines are terrible. So even if you're giving
I know,
it all,
but I think that's what I
oh my
enjoy.
God. It's bad. Like, if I have to try to think what the one-liner means, that's not good. Because again, I still don't understand the mustard thing. Mexico divorce, I don't think anyone knows what that is unless you look it up. So like the fact that you have to look up one-liners, that's a problem. So
It's a pro-
okay.
Well, next up is Trancers. No, it's not another Trancers. Next up, we're going to do our first Hallmark sequel. It should be fun. It's Christmas at Graceland, Home for the Holidays. And you know who's in this movie? Adrian Grenier from, obviously, people know him from Entourage. Great show. First 4 seasons. And then after that, I stopped watching. But another a sequel legend is in this movie. David Keith, who plays the shimmying Major League 2. What was his name? I should know that. Who was David Keith at Major League 2? The ladies love him. David Keith, Oh, this is terrible. I should know this.
You're asking the wrong person.
His name.
I don't even know the people that of the movie I just watched. So you don't expect me to know who played who and how long ago.
Oh man, that's bad. That's bad. I should know that. But yeah, so yeah, it's going to be our first Hallmark sequel. So it should be fun. I'm actually like looking forward to it because again, in the vein of like thinking of the Will Ferrell movie that he did when they did that like very hammy like Lifetime type movie. These movies are huge now. So and the guests we have, I'll mention in 1 second because I have to get if I don't get David. Oh, Jack Parkman. Oh my god.
Oh my.
Dude.
Wow.
Oh, I forget Jack Parkman.
Wow.
That's bad.
Yeah. I don't know who you were talking about, but
Yeah,
oh my
I need
gosh. Okay.
Yeah. Jack Parkman. So yeah, David Keith's in that movie, so it'd be fun. And forward, I chatted with producer, director, and writer. And one thing I learned from the interview that you don't see on IMDb, he started doing like special effects and making masks. That's Dustin Rikert. Dustin, Jamie reached out. He's famous for doing the Easy Rider 2 sequel. Again, we talked to so many people. When you have that one thing that people like that stands out, people reach out for that a lot. So when I talked to him, we didn't even really talk about it at all. We talked about really the fact that he started, he grew up in the Northeast, went to USC for film school, good baseball player. His whole family was good baseball players. He got hurt, so he's like, hey, I love film, love special effects. So he's making like monster masks as a kid. Then he was selling them out in California. He gets onto a set. The rest is history. But now he's like this go-to for Lifetime, like a studio that's based out of production studio in Connecticut. So the one he has coming out on November 30th, it is called A Holiday Touchdown, A Chief's Love Story. So there's one that's coming out soon, like a Hallmark type movie. But with that movie, really has nothing. There's something to do with the Chiefs. But this one, he filmed at Chief Stadium, and Andy Reid's in the movie. So he had 48 hours at the stadium. So cool. The movie's about a diehard Kansas City Chief fan. Their family are competing to win the team's Fan of the Year contest. And in a process judged by the director of fan engagement, Derek. It comes out November 30th, 8 p.m. on Hallmark. So, Dustin will be a lot of fun. Jamie, have you ever watched one of these Hallmark movies?
I have not, but is Dean Cain in a bunch of his movies? I'm assuming Dean Cain is a big Hallmark guy.
Dean Cain's in a lot of them. He's not in this one, but there are familiar faces. Like when you look on IMDb and when we watch the movie, there'll be some of those people like, oh, they were in that. But
you know what?
Just the fact that Adrian Grenier and Jack Parkman.
This might be a movie my wife will watch with me. Because,
there we go.
I can't get my daughter. I mean, my daughter will watch some of them. My wife will never watch any of the movies we do pretty much. So maybe this would be one I can watch with her.
Date night. Date night with the good, the bad, and the sequel. So, so that's that. So don't forget to review, rate, share our podcast. Follow us on all social media at Sequels Only. And don't forget to share our website, sequelsonly.com. Good night.
Good night.